Okay. Hello, Charan. Yashaswini.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Charan, Yashaswini, more people are there. Total how many?
Today only 2 joined, sir. I'll record and send it for others.
Okay, okay. In the last week, we discussed about the poverty, na? Some
Yes, sir.
information about the poverty. Today, let us discuss the remaining issues of the poverty. First of all, estimates, poverty estimates. Who will pay and how many estimates happened so far from independence onward, 1947 onward. In the post-independence, poverty estimation first time made by working group in 1962 by the government of India. You see, poverty is a centralized problem. That's why, irrespective of the state poverty or district poverty, rural poverty, estimates are made by the government of India only. So here, on those days, Indian Council for Medical Research under this flagship poverty estimation has made. So as per them, they suggested that 1962 this is minimum amount required urban areas is 25 rupees per day and rural areas is 20 rupees per day for survival. So a person who receives less than 20 in urban area automatically comes under poverty line, below poverty line. And in rural urban areas, here it is 25. A person who is receiving below 25 rupees per day automatically comes under the BPL, below poverty line. So they made one imaginary line, isn't it? On those days, 25 rupees means today's worth 20,000, I think so. Isn't it? So this is about 1962. After that, in 1971, Dandekar and Rath, these are the two people under the National Sampling Survey flagship. They decided that not money is important, 2,250 calories of food is required to survive by an individual. So they counted that on those days, 15 rupees per month, 22.5 rupees per month. So here, previously it was 20 rupees per month, 25 rupees per month. Now it is 15 rupees per month, 22.5 rupees per month, 1971. And task force on projection of minimum needs and effective consumption demand. This is one more committee, this is the task force committee. So they made estimation in 1979, very year, 71 to 79, within 8 years only. So they made the recommendation that rural people require 49 rupees per month. Urban people require 56 rupees per month. Gradually it is coming on, going on, increasing. In 62 it is 20-25 rural versus urban rupees per month. 71 it is 15 rupees, 22.5 rupees per month rural urban. Now here rural is 49 rupees, urban is 56 rupees. This is for task force. In 1993, one more committee, Lakdawala committee, Consumer Price Index, Industrial Workers, Consumer Price Index, Agricultural Labor. These two committees made an estimation, hasn't it? As per this, their estimation, still poverty is prevailing in India predominantly. That's why government should take the improper measures to control the poverty. Next. Lastly, finally, in 2014, Rangarajan committee. Afterwards, he becomes the governor of Reserve Bank of India also. So they made 47 rupees per month in urban per day in urban area and 32 rupees per day in rural area is required to survive an individual. So these are the various estimates made by from time to time to estimate the poverty. Number one, working group, Dandekar and Raj, task force, Lakdawala, Tendulkar, and Raghuram Raj. These are the 6 people responsible for the estimation of poverty in India. Clear? Yashaswini, are you listening?
Yes.
Yes, very good. So here, in addition to this, from time to time they estimated the level of poverty also. In 1993, it was 45%. Out of 100, 45 people are poor. By 2004 and 5, 45 reduced to 37. Even also, but due to pandemic situation, the poverty levels are increasing all over the world. You need to see that. Isn't it? Now, these are the estimates. In addition to these estimates, we need to understand some vulnerable groups. These groups always persist in poverty only. What is the reason beyond this means? Either it may be historical reason or they are neglected by the government. They are not included in the financial activities, etc. Isn't it? Now you see, in the vulnerable groups, SCs and STs. SC, STs are there, scheduled caste and scheduled caste. Rural labor, urban casual labor. These put together 33%. Now it is reduced to 22.43%. Now you see in these vulnerable groups, not only prevails in the society for vulnerable groups, social society aspect. In the within the family also, some vulnerable groups are available or observed. We can observe. Number one, women. Naturally, women is a weak inhibitant. So here, women are more prone to poverty. Elderly people. Elderly people in rural areas and urban areas, they are neglected. Why? Because they can't earn their livelihood. They depend upon their family members who are earning members. And one more important vulnerable group is female infants. You might know, especially female infants are being sold, selling to avoid the poverty also. So such type of pity stories also we can see nowadays, isn't it? So these are the vulnerable groups. Societal vulnerable groups are number one, SC, ST, and agricultural labor, rural agricultural labor, and urban labor, casual labor, urban casual labor. These 4 are considered as vulnerable groups. Not only society, but also family within itself also having inequality. These inequality people facing are number one, women. Number two, elderly people. Number three, female infants. Isn't it? So their status is very pathetic. They don't have proper food, proper care, isn't it? They have been neglected by the family members. These are the problems. Okay. Now, one more aspect from the poverty is interstate disparities. From state to state, we have 27 states, hasn't it? And 9 union territories, hasn't it? So here in Assam, Orissa, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, and Madhya Pradesh. These states are having severe poverty. That's why these states are considered as a BMRO states. Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, like isn't it? Assam also. So, but poverty is very less in Kerala, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Gujarat. These states are having least poverty. Why? Because these states are implementing poverty eradication programs effectively. As a result of program, the people who are below poverty line are gradually reducing. One more thing we can see that HDI, Human Development Index. HDI is very high in Kerala. In the poverty estimations, HDI means how many people are getting primary education, sanitary facilities, issued drinking water facilities, minimum healthcare facilities. All these put together, they make one index. This is called Human Development Index. Kerala is doing well in this case. It is doing well. We can see number of primary health centers, the health sub centers, and care in the area in the rural area hospitals are very high, isn't it? The government is spending huge money on the mass education, health, sanitation, drinking water, power distribution, etc. Here, it is not only the Indian context, in global way also it is persisting. Global level. Already we discussed in the previous class as for World Bank, $1.95 are required to survive a person per day. $1.9 per day. In 1990, all over the world, 35% of population of the world population are under poverty line. It is reduced to 10.68% in 2030. Within the 23 years of time, 35% reduced to 10.68, approximately 10%. Means in 1990 it was 35 people out of 100 are under poverty line all over the world. By 2030, it is reduced to 10 only out of 100. And this also showing greater regional disparities. For example, we know China's history, success story. In 1981, 88% of people of China are poor. By 2013, the economic growth was very fast. They are supplying every commodity to the world market. So as a result, poverty reduced to 14%. Where is 88? Where is 14? That much drastic change happened in China from 1981 to 2030. Isn't it? Why? Because more economic growth is happening in China. Are you following me, Charan? Vaishnavi and Yashaswini, sorry. Yashaswini,
Yes, sir.
what about Charan? Charan is not responding. Please, Charan, respond.
Yes, sir.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Both,
here the
both of you open your videos also so that sir will look you. He will have a glance at you. Charan and Ashwini, you just open your videos. Namaskaram Lakshmanrao garu.
నమస్తే సార్ బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నాను సార్. నా పేరు పద్మనాభరావు.
లాస్ట్ టైం మనం మీట్ అయ్యాం సార్.
అవునండి.
డెమో క్లాస్ లో చూశాను మిమ్మల్ని. I saw you in demo class.
Right, sir. Please continue, sir.
So here, this scenario, poverty scenario not persisting only Indian context. It is a world context and with greater disparities, regional disparities. China success story. In South Asian countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, they have success stories. You see, from 54% to 15% drastically reduce the poverty. Why? Because the schemes which are adopted by the governments results the poverty reduction. But African countries, Congo-like countries, till in 2013 reduced 54% to 41%. That's why till today also, African countries to Latin American countries like Mexico, Brazil, etc., are facing the poverty or inequality in the world. Just recently, yesterday itself only, World Inequality Report. I am not touching upon the world countries, but Indian countries, Indian continent, Indian level, I am going to touch upon. You see here, this is very recent, yesterday itself only. If you want, I will share the link also with you. You can see that. You see here, what is the population of India? 130 crores. 2021, we are not estimated. So we are estimating it as a 130 crores, isn't it? 50% of population are bottom, means they are enjoying only 8% of income. You see, if you assume 100 people are there in the country, 50 people are enjoying 8 rupees of income. 100 people, 100 rupees. Income is 100 rupees, 100 people are there. So 100 people are enjoying, 50 people are enjoying 8 rupees income. Middle group or middle income group, those are the bottom means poor people. Middle income group people, 40% are there. They're enjoying 39% of income. 39%. Income is 39%. People are 40%. We can make it justification 40:40, we can say. And top 10% people are enjoying 52% of income. Mean one out of 130 crore, 1.3 crore, 13 crore people, 10% means 13 crore, 13 crore people are enjoying 52% means 52 rupees. This is the level of inequality in India. In this also, top 1%, 1% of 13 crores is equal to 1.3 lakhs, 13 lakhs. 13 lakhs. This 13 lakhs people are enjoying 19% of income. This is the pitiest thing in India. It is happening. It is not only in India happening, every day. Due to liberalization, privatization, globalization, it means I am not taking the wrong of from the part of rich people, but governments are failing to redistribute the income equally, isn't it? I am not blaming the rich people, but our policies, any country you take, the policies are not effective to distribute the income equally. This is persisting everywhere. This is coming to the point of view of income. From the wealth point of view, wealth means it is assets, isn't it? The same 50% of bottom people enjoys only 2% of wealth. 2% of 100, if 100 properties are there, only 2 properties are enjoyed by 50%. And 40% people are enjoying 22% is the middle class. 40% of people are enjoying 22% of wealth. Top 10% people are enjoying 76%. In this also, top 10%, top 1% of enjoying 38% of wealth. So isn't it? So from the income point of view, there is a disparity, inequality. From the wealth point of view also, there is a disparity and inequality. Isn't it? Now, coming to the Indian context only causes. Everyone knows poverty. What is the reason for poverty? Simply we can say that number one, population. Increasing in population is very high. Our resources are not sufficient to meet the teeming population or increasing population. Isn't it? Number two, incomes are less due to the slow economic development. Our development process is slow, isn't it? So before 2014, there was a 8%, 9% growth was registered. So lot of employment opportunities were created. But now growth rate is registering very less. As a result, we are unable to create more employment opportunities. As a result, incomes are less, people are under poverty, isn't it? So other things are socio-cultural, economic factors also responsible, isn't it? So here, poorest of the poor people living in rural areas are agricultural laborers. In urban areas, the poor people, industrial laborers, casual laborers, isn't it? There is no assurance for their employment or yeah, isn't it? Next. What are the measures? Government is from time to time, it is giving lot of measures for promoting some state government level schemes, central government level schemes. Presently, Government of India is concentrating on NREGA, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Under this act, every individual is assured with a minimum 100 days of job within a vicinity of 5 kilometers from the village. So he has to attend for work 100 days in a month, in a year, so he will get minimum wage of 350 per month. 350 per day. 350 into 100 means 35,000. This is the assured income. In addition to this, lot many programs and irrigation facilities are increasing in our rural areas. As a result, multi-cropping is happening. As a result, some people are getting more employment opportunities like coolies or casual laborer, etc. And in rural areas also, as a result of availability of power, production activities in rural areas increase. Rice mills, wheat flour mills, food processing industries, small factories, tiny factories, micro, medium, already we discussed MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. So they are being in production activities in rural areas. Although they are not giving permanent employment, casual employment they are creating. As a result, the people are getting some sort of income, hasn't it? As a result, what is happening? The poverty level is going on decreasing. This is the ultimate result of these programs. So, among those programs, number one, Antyodaya Anna Yojana. This is also one of the important program. AAY, Antyodaya Anna Yojana program. Under this program, poorest of the poor people will get the free of cost foodstuffs like rice, wheat, ragi, etc. The same is which are given to the above poverty line people for cost, but below poverty line people will get at a free of cost itself. Next, PMRY, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. So this scheme is enacted by the Government of India. Under Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, various developmental activities are identified, and as per this, the rural people has to develop community assets like roads, bridges, community buildings, school buildings, hospital buildings. So they need to concentrate on the construction of these activities. As a result, they will get some benefit. That is called Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Next, Swarna Jayanti Grama Sarojgar Yojana. Swarna Jayanti Grama Sarojgar Yojana is also one of the important programs under the flagship of Government of India. All these programs are implemented by the government in consultation with the state governments. That's why some state governments have succeeded in eradication of poverty, but some state governments are not succeeded, means level of poverty is more, and these schemes, intensity of these schemes are very less. And in addition to this, what are the challenges in ahead? Most important challenge in future is this widespread inequalities. Poverty is reducing, inequality is increasing. Frankly speaking, in India, poverty is reducing. Those who are under the poverty line are coming above the poverty line. This is a good indicator only. Still, inequalities are persisting, increasing day by day. The gulf between rich and poor is happening day by day. This leads to some socio cultural, political, economical unrest or distress happens, isn't it? So it is the government duty to reduce these inequalities. It is very, very essential. And moreover, governments are very key in eradication of poverty programs. World Bank recently observed all Indian programs, poverty eradication programs, are supplying of fish rather than supplying of fish nets. You see here, if you supply the fish, people happily they will cook the fish and eat happily. But World Bank is insisting that increase the skill, enhance the skill of people, and provide a net to catch the fish. As a result, they work and they get more remunerative benefit. Why? Because for catching, they not only catch the fish for themselves, they catch surplus fish. The surplus fish will be taken to market. The market they will get some money. You see, this is the way in eradication of poverty. All world countries are adopting the skill enhancement among the people, either urban or rural. It is our usual observation. A person who comes from rural area, what he will do in urban area, either a rickshaw puller, he don't have any technical knowledge, and a casual labor, daily labor. If the same person is given some sort of training like fitter, turner, electrician, etc., we can utilize his services in any way, isn't it? So that's why these are the observations made by the World Bank. Instead of supplying fish, better to supply fish net. Then people will make an effort to get the fish, isn't it? So here, that's why this is very, very essential, important. What type of programs are being implemented by the governments, isn't it? So here, from analysis point of view, let us see necessaries, comfort, luxury. Poor people want necessaries only. Necessary means food, shelter, clothing, isn't it? So government's main aim is to provide basic necessities at a cheaper cost to the poorest of the poor, bottom of the pyramid people. That's why still 22% of people are living under the poverty line after implementation of various schemes by the state government, central government, various governments at various levels. Still it is prevalent, isn't it? So for that purpose, it is better to have a detailed discussion by the experts at various levels to eradicate real poverty problem. And The estimations also, Government of India could not take clear cut or proper estimates. Why? Because people are manipulated and no, some poor people are not coming forward to declare them as poor. But some middle class people are coming towards, they are declaring as a poor people, isn't it? So from the point of view of the below poverty line card, ration card, isn't it? So most of the people will hold the ration card, but their income is high, isn't it? So that's why this some sort of estimations are taking of data from the public is also very tough in Indian context, isn't it? So these are the various anti-poverty programs. In addition to this, lot many programs are there. Minimum wage program, Prime Minister Gramina Sadak Yojana program, uh, 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 Garib Kalyan Yojana program, uh, Prime Minister Land Development Program, and integrated rural development program, integrated rural district program. All these are the various programs from time to time. Government of India implemented and succeeded. So now you take the example of this NREGA, Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So this is basically introduced in Maharashtra under minimum need food for work program to provide the minimum needs to the agricultural laborers, rural poor and urban casual labor. So it got succeeded in Maharashtra. The same is being implemented all over India with the help of the government patronage, isn't it? So this is a brief about the poverty eradication program, poverty which is prevailing in Indian context. So here we can conclude that in India, whether poverty is first or low income is first means we can't say. Due to poverty, low income is happening. Due to low income, poverty is happening. So why income is low means it is no production activity is going on or economic growth, economic development is very low. As a result, employment generation is low. So that's why it is going on making a cycle. That's why it is called a vicious circle of poverty. Poor is reason for low income. Low income is reason for the low production. Low production is reason for the low development. Low development is reason for the gain resources, income, capital generation, etc. So all these are revolving around and around. That's why this India like countries are facing vicious circle of poverty, isn't it? So due to low income, people are poor. Due to poor poverty, people income is less. So all these are the various dimensions of poverty in India. Still, some countries, some states are doing well. Take the example of Kerala. Kerala Human Development Index is very high, isn't it? Among the urban cities, urban areas, Delhi we can take as a good HPI education, good education they are providing. Government schools are competing with the private schools. For your kind information, some government schools are having the what we call swimming pool facility also in Delhi. We believe or not, government schools are having swimming pool facilities. You think of, isn't it? Computer laboratories. Now there is a tough competition to join in government schools in Delhi is happening. Health also. They are opening urban clinics, isn't it? Why? Because the government is getting comfortable income. Based on that, they are doing miracles, isn't it? But some states are there. Take the example of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Population is high, geographical area is widespread, isn't it? Languages are different, and spread over villages are spread over in the large geographical area. That's why these challenges will happen. Still, government is making an effort to eradicate the poverty at all the levels, isn't it? Sharon, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
You can answer.
Yashwini.
Yes, sir.
Ah. What did you understand? Tell me within 1 minute or 2 minutes, Yashwini.
Sir, due to this COVID, there are many means poverty families are increasing.
Very good.
There are lot many members in Indian population who are poverty.
Very good. What are the measures government, whether government is taking the measures or not? Charan?
1.3 crores, sir.
Government is taking measures to eradicate the poverty. Income is distributed not equally, unequal distribution of income. Wealth is not distributed equally, unequal distribution of wealth. Both are unequally. It is not persistent only in Indian context. It is a world context. It is happening. Governments need to make proactive steps for the redistribution of income equally among all the citizens. It is a faraway dream. In reality, it will not happen. It will not happen. Why? Because how many rich people are ready to sacrifice their income and distribute their income to the poor
So
people?
the meeting is going to end, sir. Excuse me. We will
okay.
join once again, sir.
Okay.